Welcome back. I put some pictures up on Facebook and Instagram of this double scoop I made a couple weeks ago, and I got a lot of requests to do a video showing how I did it, so let's go ahead and get started. The wood chop is sponsored by I grabbed a piece of maple from the wood pile out back. This wasn't the best choice, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. I just took 2 waste blocks, hot glued them on each side, and these are going to be used to turn out the scoops. The lathe's running about 200 RPMs. I'm using a small carbide cutter to cup out the inside, and I'm just using a depth gauge to make sure I don't go through the bottom. Just clean up the lip just a little bit. Don't go in too far because this is where the handle is, and the further down you go, the more you cut into it. At this point, I should have just cut my losses and grabbed a different piece of wood, but I thought I'd try filling it in with the thin CA glue. It worked all right, but as it turns out, the handle and the other end of the scoop are full of the beetle tracks, so it's pretty much just a display spoon. I decided to take it back over on the bandsaw and kind of give it its basic shape too, so it wasn't quite so off center. I'm going to flip it around and grab the other waste block and clean out the other scoop. I made this one about half the size. On the other spoons I cut the waste block off on the bandsaw, but it really gums up the blade, so I just decided to take a chisel and knock it off. I was talking to Ken on the Patreon hangout about this too. He had some concerns about the hot glue, but this should ease your mind. It will break the wood and the waste block before that seam will break. Just make sure the glue is really hot when you put it on. Try and get it as close as you can in the center of the scoops. This will really help once you start to turn it down. It'll take off material evenly from both sides. On the other scoop, I took it back to the bandsaw and cut off some of the material before I started sanding, but along with being full of beetle holes, the wood is really soft, so I just used a DA and sanded it over. It went down pretty fast. Then I hand sanded it up to 240 and cut the tips off with the bandsaw, and then just used the foam pad to clean it up. I soaked it in the mineral oil overnight, and then I finished hand sanding up to 600. There we go, and that's how I made the double scoop. I didn't realize when I started there were so many holes in it, or I would have stopped and grabbed a different piece of wood. The CA glue actually worked really well for sealing all the holes on the big scoop, but I had a big one on the little scoop and it busted through. Maybe for the follow-up I'll just maybe reshape that and make it part of the handle, but that's how I did it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and share. I really appreciate it. Till next time, take care.